Okay, I am back. This is Surly Tim with Surly Tim's Fun Bunker. Um, I've had this song going through my head this last week. Um, these are a few of my favorite things. Now, I'm going to change it, but these are a few things that I dig. Because I hate the sound of music with a passion, so you can put that on my things to hate list. Of course, I'm going to start off with, I'm a huge fan of Guinness. This is my favorite brew. There's nothing like a nice room temperature Guinness, and yes, that's how you're supposed to drink it. But along the same lines, my favorite wine is from Sheffield Cellars, Tawny Port from California. It's a California wine. I can pick this up at a drug mart for about $6, and it's worth every penny. It's just got that right flavor to it. I love wine, I love certain types of drinks. Followed by my favorite drink of all, which is, I'll show it in this order. My favorite brand is Chock full of Nuts. So they could consider this a commercial and send me all sorts of free coffee. I would be very, very happy with that. Also, I've nicknamed her Josephine. For those coffee drinkers, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, I love this stuff. It's an old late 50s, early 60s model percolator, and it's the proper way to drink coffee, unless of course you get a French press. And I love my coffee strong, strong, strong. It's got to be incredibly black. Okay, other things, of course, comics. I wouldn't be here doing comic book shows and stuff if I didn't love comics. And I have been a fan of comics since I was real little. My uncle actually got me into comics when I was very young. And because of him, I developed a love for Peanuts. So Peanuts is Schultz's work just really had a lot of influence on me. And that was just one thing that I loved. Also, I'm a huge Groucho Marx fan, so Memoirs of a Mangy Lover, because I'm an avid reader, I love to read. Groucho Marx is probably one of my favorite entertainers for so many years, since I was little, as a matter of fact. Favorite poet, Frank O'Hara. Off the wall, kind of almost like a Beat Generation type poet, but his stuff is phenomenal. I love his work. He's one of my favorite. Actually, he is my favorite poet. To get a little deep for you. Also, food. Brookdale can actually send me free product if they want to, because I'm a corned beef hash fan, hands down. I'll buy two flats of these at a time for the entire month. I'll eat this stuff daily if I can. The only problem is a lot of times I prefer it with eggs, but I'm a huge fan of corned beef. Also, to go along with the food, my two favorite cookbooks. Yeah, I love to cook, which gets a lot of geeks in trouble because they don't know how and they rely on females or their romantic significant other to cook for them. But this one by Anne Rogers, A Cookbook for Poor Poets and Others. Really good, cheap meals, staple food mostly, very inexpensive. When I first got this, I was not financially sound, and it actually helped me out quite a bit because I learned how to use different types of food in different types of ways. Also by Hyman Goldberg, formerly Prudence Penny, because of course females back in the old days could only write cookbooks, men couldn't. Our Man in the Kitchen cookbook. If you can find either this one or the other one, snag them. They're really good. Even if you can only find the recipes by themselves. Best one to come out of this one is Wino Coffee Steak, which is one of my son's favorite meals that I've cooked for him. If you get a chance, snag it. It's awesome. Also, I am a huge hockey fan. I love hockey. I can't get enough of it. This is Worcester Oilers, which is a team, our local team. It's a low-grade team, not very big at all. I hardly hear anything about it. So, and of course, you know, I actually love hockey pucks. So, followed by a few more books, because my favorite authors would be Hunter S. Thompson. He gave me a lot of he was a big influence when I was writing for the local paper for a while. I'm also a huge Ian Fleming fan. I love 007. Can't wait for the new movie. I just huge Bond fan. Also, the first book I ever read when I was a child, I was in first grade. Everybody was on the way of the bookshelf for the first grade level. I decided to go ahead and look elsewhere, so I went to the fourth grade reading level, which I found The Hobbit. This is the first book I ever read that would have been an actual book, and I have been in love with Tolkien's work ever since. Now, here's where I'm a little bit of a non-believer. So, The God Illusion by Richard Dawkins, very good book. I really enjoy this book. But also on the flip side, I'm really hooked on Eastern philosophies. So if you get a chance, and you can find it, Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. The philosophy is just amazing. I love Eastern philosophy because it's so mellow and it's so easy to understand. And, oh yeah, I wanted to say, thanks to my son, because I'm a huge fan of smoking pipe. I have been for years. I love this pipe. He got it for me for Father's Day this year, and I've used it slow burning, which means I can hold on to the tobacco for a little while longer, and but it's a really nice smoke. I've been smoking pipe for probably about a decade now, and I love it. I can't get enough of it. It reminds me when I was a kid, and my father used to smoke pipe. He'd get paid. We'd go out and do certain things. It was kind of a ritual, but he would always get pipe tobacco, and he would smoke pipe. Usually Friday through Sunday was when I noticed it the most, because of course I was around, he was around, and I got to smell the smell of pipe smoke. So I've kind of adopted that as one of my own habits. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and go with, I've got a few more things to do, but movies, I'm a huge movie fan, always have been, always will be. Two of my favorite movies of all time, King Kong, the original was it 33 or 30, it's 33 when this came out. I watch it every Thanksgiving. It's a tradition in my house. It's what I choose to do, so I'd rather do that than eat turkey. But King Kong, awesome, love the movie. My favorite movie of all time, however, is The Right Stuff. I was a huge fan of space travel as a kid. I grew up knowing who these guys were. I mean, when you're looking into people like Chuck Yeager, people don't know who the hell they are anymore, and it's sad. It's a sad tribute to what we've become, because we've forgotten some of the most important people in our nation's history. Now, as I've done another episode too, but I've been transferring albums to digital, and two of them that I haven't done yet, but I can't wait to do. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Whipped Cream and Other Delights, one of the most used covers of all time in music history, in movies and other forms of media. I love this album. It's great. I saw them as a child. My uncle took me to see them, and it took me to see them when I was a little kid, and I dug every minute of it. And ever since then, I've been collecting. I've got a pretty good collection. I think about 12 albums, I think, if not about 12. But also, one of the albums that I've got on vinyl, I've also owned on CD, cassette, and digital download. Also, I've bought it in almost every form it's ever been available. The Clash's Combat Rock, which to me is one of the most perfect examples of how an album should be laid out. I love it. I can never get enough of it. But then finally, the last thing that I love most, I love to fish. I dig it. It's one of my favorite hobbies. A couple of my friend and my kids and I love to go do it together. This isn't the one that I use most, but this one's nice because when I'm taking it fishing, this is my extra one just in case I break down with my other rod and reel, because I've done that on many occasions. So this is my last ditch effort at trying to stay ahead of the game, just in case something breaks down. But that's it. That's the things that I dig, and just thought I'd share this with you so you get to know me a little better. If you can, man, do one of these videos too. It'd be kind of cool to get to know what everybody else is like here. I've got a pretty good idea, but there's been some, through YouTube, I've been introduced to some very interesting people, and I hope I meet more. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.